when the bass go. I like it when the bass go.
Hey,
that was different.
You lost me, didn't
you? I know. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Lane, episode 45. Really had a bit of a panic then. Yeah, bit of an off-the-cuff one this evening. Just watched the Champions League opening game, and myself and Dan thought we'd come on, talk about it, talk about how Spurs did, and let's get into it. Dan, how you doing, mate?
How you doing, Nige? Big up everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's okay. Yeah, it's a bit different tonight. Coming on straight after a match, a bit different, but yeah, it was quite disappointing, wasn't it? Like back in the Champions League, we expected more, and unfortunately, it was a drab affair, and we kind of just got over the line. A win's a win, another clean sheet, and look. Maybe fans were getting a bit ahead of themselves. You know, we haven't been in the Champions League for a while. Some of these players haven't played in the Champions League. Frank hasn't managed in the Champions League. And I just think, yeah, it may take a bit of time to get used to playing in the Champions League. But, you know, we'll get into it, Nige. We'll get into it.
We will indeed, mate. It was a bit like that, wasn't it? Really excited before the game. Couldn't wait, you know, the atmosphere, the build up is all. This is going to be a great night. Watching Xavi Simons make his home debut, and it all felt result apart, which is fantastic. Felt a little bit like a damp squib, but like you say, we will get into it. Let's say hello to who's in the chat. Jimmy's in. Big up, Jimmy. Hope you're well, buddy.
Big up, Jimmy.
Philly is in the house. Big up, Phil. Hope you're well, mate. Phil. And Stephen Cartwright. Big up, Steve.
Big up, Steve.
And Jimmy again. Tom Thatcher's in. Big up, Tom.
Big up, Tom.
Big up, Norm65.
Big up, Norm.
And big up, Lisa. Hope you're well.
Big up, Lisa. How you doing? Thank you, everyone, for being here straight after the game. I'm sure you got lots to say about it. We're going to start with this one, Nige. Lineup? Got the lineup up? Or
yeah, we're going to start with the line. I'm going to get the lineup up. Let's say hello to a few more people when they come in. Andrew, big up, mate.
Big up, Andrew.
And Paul is in the house as well. Big up, Paul. Hope you're well, buddy. Paul. Let's get the teams up, mate, because what did you think of the team when they come up? Let's just get it up. That was the team. What did you make of it?
Well, defence was, you know, what we expected, right? Could have played a doggy instead of Spence. Again, Simons is choosing to play on that left-hand side. which I just think it's such a waste for him. He needs to be more central. But if you look at that formation, it's kind of like Bentancur in front of the defence. Then you had either side of him, Sarr and Bergvall. I would have much preferred Xavi in one of those positions, trying to create things more centrally. And then Kudos, obviously. Yeah, that was the obvious one with Richarlison up front. I just think, I don't know, after the game against West Ham, I know we won the game, but there's a clear issue with how we attack, I think. And it was kind of similar against better opposition, right? Villarreal, they're kind of European side, savvy on the ball, technical players. They know how to play. They're organised. Didn't give us much, did they? Really? And we struggled. We really, really struggled to kind of create much at all. It was only like I messaged you in the first half, Nige, that how we were creating was just from pouncing from maybe them giving the ball away or just trying to break fast. We really struggled to kind of get it through midfield and into the forwards. They went, obviously we went out wide quite a lot, which is fine. But when you haven't got a natural left winger on that side, it just dies. And we didn't get the ball out to Kudos enough. But I'll stop right now. Otherwise I'm just going to go off. I'll talk about the whole game. So, Nige, what did you think of the starting lineup, mate?
Quite similar. I was disappointed Polina wasn't in there. I think we need that. I don't mind Bentancur, but Bentancur, Sarr and Bergvall for me was a bit of a concern. Same as you. For me, Simons is wasted on the left, but this is the problem, isn't it? We go back to the problem that we've had all summer. We haven't replaced the left-hand side. So our other option, I guess, would have been Brennan Johnson. Yeah, it was disappointing first half, disappointing team. I thought actually Villarreal sat back a bit first half. It's almost like they were sussing us out. Like you say, they didn't give us much, apart from the goal, which was a mistake. They didn't really give us anything. A couple of long shots, a couple of pot shots, a couple of balls into the box, but didn't really create anything. And I felt like, I don't know how you felt. I felt first half they were just happy just to sit in their block, catch us on the break a few times. But I think we saw the real Villarreal second half. I'm not sure what you feel. But let's talk about the goal, because we did score, albeit from a terrible goalkeeping mistake. But it actually was a good move. Bergvall getting out on the right hand side, putting a half decent ball in the box. And obviously the keeper spilled it and went in.
Yeah, that was good movement. And we got a massive, massive slice of luck. The keeper, it was an absolute howler. So you would have thought, okay, look, we got that early goal. Let's push on, score a couple more, really take the game to Villarreal. But we just didn't, did we? We really didn't. We were just didn't work. Villarreal dropped deeper and deeper in that first half. At the beginning of the game, Villarreal came out and they had a go, right? There was lots of space there, pressing high. But the more the half went on, they dropped back. And we just struggled to create anything. I mean, there was a couple of chances. Sarr had a shot. Kudos was causing some issues. We just didn't get the ball out to him enough. I felt Bergvall, again, we didn't get him on the ball enough. And there was a real issue with progressing that ball from midfield. And I think Bentancur was playing well. He was doing his job. He was tidy. He was mopping up things. He was turning with the ball. But we were just too slow. We were just, you've got to play it faster. You've got to be quick. You've got to put pressure on, urgency. We just didn't show enough against Villarreal, and it was quite comfortable for them, I thought. And, Pepe, did he have a chance in the first half? I think he did, didn't he? And no, there was a player, Buchanan, who had an amazing chance in the first half. He should have scored. And 1-0 at half time, you're thinking, okay, Frank, you're going to shake it up at half time. So what did you think, Nige, and how that second half started?
Second half was terrible. I mean, we come out, thanks, Benny Guy. We come out, start the second half. I thought, like you say, Frank would have got into him a little bit, because first half we did okay, but I would say Villarreal had the best two chances of the first half. obviously the Pepe shot, which Van der Ven blocked, got a knee on, and then the really good chance for Buchanan when he should have at least hit the target. Second half, I thought we'd come out and put a bit of a performance in, a bit of fight, but we just come out and we just constantly give the ball away. They put a bit. I don't know what you think. First half, I felt that they did have a go first 10 minutes, but then they just sat back, like you said, let Spurs have the ball at the back. And it's almost like Romero was trying to get him to come onto us a little bit so he could pass it. Second half, they come onto us, and it's almost like the back four didn't know what to do. The passing out was terrible. Romero must have given it away 2 or 3 times. All of them looked like they didn't want the ball. Every time they got it, they lost it. It was a concerning start to the second half, and I think kind of followed on the whole second half, didn't it? We didn't really improve.
No, they worked us out easily. They just man marking us, when we were trying to attack. Didn't give us any space in midfield. Again, we kind of lacked that progressive passer in that midfield, that playmaker type. Somebody who can turn the game, get it out wide, switch the play, and spread those balls through. Romero tried from the back, but they just cut it out. Yeah, it was just too easy for them. And they grew and grew in that game. And they were very fortunate not to score. I mean, they weren't amazing, but they did have a couple of real good chances in that second half, and they probably thought they could have at least walked away with a draw. It just wasn't working, that midfield combination. It really wasn't. Again, Xavi, he's just on that left. He just can't really affect the game from there. He needs to be more central in the number 10. As I've seen in the comments. Kudos was trying, but again, I thought Richarlison was poor. He had a header. He didn't even hit his hand, didn't it? Good couple of balls from Porro in the game. Bergvall, a couple of runs. But it was just all too easy for Villarreal. We weren't, we were the home side. We should have really been creating more chances. I don't think we really worked their goalie at all. And Villarreal, they just kept coming, didn't they, near the end? We were kind of hanging in there. There were some last-ditch challenges from Van der Ven, Romero, free kicks. So then Frank, he thinks, okay, let's freshen it up. Let's do something. So he brings in Doggy. Didn't do a lot. More kind of defending than attacking. Then he brought on, who else did he bring in, Nige? It was Doggy. Paulinho came on, didn't he?
Paulinho come on, did okay.
I get that. Yeah, a bit more kind of, defensive in there. But again, it doesn't solve the problem of us trying to progress that ball to the forwards, to kind of speed up the play. If it was me, I would have put Xavi more central, see what he could have done, see if he could kind of create and stuff. Just wasted on that left. And then later on, we see Johnson come on, and I was just thinking, that's, he's not going to do anything, and he didn't do anything. Why isn't he bringing on Wilson? You've got a natural left winger there. At least he can run at his man and try and take on the fullback. And we were just very poor in the attacking third. And I'm not surprised, to be honest, because I don't think we have played that great in the way we attack. We've relied on set pieces a lot. And to tell you what, Villarreal, they defended well. Anything we tried, long balls in the box, corners, they were organised. Yeah, they were strong. They didn't make it easy for Spurs, and it was just, it was not a good performance. And we were lucky to walk away with the 3 points, which is the most important thing. Lots to learn from it, but it's not a very good performance at all, to be honest, is it, Nige? And such a shame because, there was a lot of hype for this game. Spurs back in the Champions League. We expected us to kind of, really take on Villarreal. They're not a top side, are they? They finished 5th in La Liga. Yeah, they're obviously a good side, but they're not like a big side. And I would have thought we would have created a lot more chances and kind of got on them a lot more, but it just didn't. We just didn't, did we? We really struggled.
No, I think that's the most concerning thing for me is that we just didn't create anything. We created next to nothing with the players that we have. We should be creating more, and we didn't. It's a real disappointment. But listen, like you said, at the end of the day, we won the game, and that is what it's about, isn't it? Winning the game, getting 3 points. It's all about that at the end of the day. We've done that. The performance was poor, especially in the second half. And I want to talk about a few of the players.
Sure.
What do you make of Spence? I thought he was terrible. It's the worst game I've seen him play for a long time for Spurs. Just didn't think he was at it at all.
But Spence, he got caught out a couple of times, didn't he? Pepe had a couple of chances. It's just, this is the problem with Spence, and I know he's been playing well, and a lot of people reckon he's a good left back. But the trouble with him, he hasn't got that left foot, so he can't cross the ball in from the left. Always has to cut back inside, and you need natural width. So when the doggy came on, I thought maybe that would give us that, but he doesn't look himself right now. He wasn't really bringing it up the field. But I just think the whole kind of team just didn't play well, to be honest. Defensively, we were okay because obviously there were some last-ditch challenges. But it was just very underwhelming performance. I mean, Villarreal, it's Villarreal, right? We should have done a lot better. But again, these European teams, they're more savvy, aren't they? They're good on the ball. They're organised. That you see their managers shouting everything. They were very unfortunate not to kind of come away with at least a point. We take it, we move on, but there's a lot of work to do in this side, especially in that kind of how we attack. And Frank has said this, isn't he? He says that he talk about phase 3? I think he's meaning the forward area, and he's talking about, look, we're not there yet. We're definitely not there yet. Definitely not. And I'm not happy with seeing Simons on that left.
No, I'm totally with you. I think he is totally and utterly wasted out there. I thought we did okay first half. A few nice little 1-2s with people, got into some good positions. But like you say, he can't create from now. We have absolutely no creative outlet in the middle of the park. So for me, Simons has to start in the middle. Who starts on the left? I mean, that's a job for Frank to sort out, isn't it? But yeah, like I was saying about
Problem. It's
Spence,
a
I thought
massive
he was
problem, Nige, isn't it? It's a massive problem not knowing, what
yeah,
we're going to do on that left-hand side. Simons is not it. It is a problem. Why didn't he play Wilson? He didn't even bring him on. He is a winger, right? Johnson's going to do nothing. He's just so disappointing. When I saw Johnson come on, I just thought, what's the point? What is the point? Villarreal are not going to give him any space to run into. What's their right back called? Mourinho, right? He's pretty physical, wasn't he? He wasn't.
yeah.
Johnson was going to do nothing. Yeah, such a
No.
waste of bringing him on. We should have brought on Wilson. I'm not saying he would have done a hell of a lot better, but at least he's got some pace. He's got some trickery. He can try and take on his man. And I don't know. Maybe Frank will explain it in his press conference.
Yeah, and that's it. We're probably not going to get to watch that, but yeah, big up Sava for the Sava raid.
Big
And
up
big up
Sava.
to everyone that's come on. If you have come in, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and yeah, let's get down some subs here tonight because
So
there's a
what's
lot of people in
everybody
the room
saying
now.
in there? What's everyone saying in the chat then? What are they saying about the game, Nige?
Let's get into. Nita saying Champions League a different ball game. Frank is doing okay. I ain't holding my breath as yet. And it is. It's the first game in the Champions League. European football is always different to Premier League football. At the end of the day, we've got the win, haven't we? I guess that's what we got to look at it. Lots of
Big
people
up, Georgia.
saying big up and for the Sava Ray. Thank you, Sava, again. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like to subs, both channels.
Cheers.
That'd be great. Jordan is saying Spence is an average player, though. Fans need to accept. I actually think Spencer's decent, but I just think he was poor tonight. Yeah, I just think he was poor tonight. Big up, George. Hope you're well. Mark Swift, I'll leave that for you, Dan. There you go.
Dan, have my babies, you sexy man. Big up, Nige. Big up, Mark.
What about me? But yeah, Pepe tonight. I think he's probably one of Villarreal's best players, wasn't he?
They weren't that amazing, were they, Villareal? Do you know what I mean? Like, they had some chances, but they didn't have anyone clinical up front. They had chances, but they couldn't do it. That's what I mean. We're going to come across in this Champions League some real tough teams, and they're going to be a lot better than them. And yeah, we've got a lot of work to do, especially in that forward line. I just didn't like the formation. It just didn't work for us. Maybe we're best off playing like a kind of 4-2-3-1, having a number 10 behind the striker. It just didn't work, did it, that formation tonight?
No, I agree. For whatever reason, it didn't click. And let's be honest, I'll just read out our threes. Richie and Spence were, for me, the worst players on the pitch today. I feel so bad for Simons already. You can tell he really, really wants to be number 10 so badly. And let's be honest, mate. I'll get onto the referee in a minute, but Simons was lucky to stay on the pitch in the end because he definitely should have had a second yellow. I mean, I don't think the first one was a yellow, but he definitely should have had a second one.
Yeah, got away with that one. But look, Richarlison is just not good enough, is he? Let's be real, everyone. Like, this is what we're relying on for the season. When you play like a half decent side, Villarreal, he couldn't get a look in, could he? Up against 1/4, the old Spurs player.
No, exactly. Exactly. He had a decent game as well, didn't he?
They're all right,
Uh,
Villarreal. They're all right.
a
They
good side,
weren't
yeah.
nothing special, but they made
Mm.
it. We just weren't very good, were we? That's the honest truth. Is that down to the players? Is that down to the system? We just didn't have that energy. We just really couldn't get hold of that game in that second half, could we? Really couldn't string a pass together. It was very,
No.
very lackluster, very disappointing. I don't know really what we were trying to do in that game. I don't know what the game plan was. Do you know, Nige? Do you know what the game plan was in that? I just couldn't work it out. It wasn't working, was it? And we so lacked that kind of that creativity in the midfield, that playmaker type, that
Mm.
guy who's going to pick it up from and I've seen the comments in the chat, pick it up from the back line, spread the play, get the ball moving fast. We just don't have that player in there. Maybe Xavi can do that. I don't know. We haven't got Madison all season. And if we can't just be a team that relies on set pieces and corners. We can't. Yeah, we can. It's good to have that in your locker, but when you're coming across good teams in the Champions League, you need more. We need to. Frank's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we definitely do look a bit of a set piece team at the moment, don't we? Which, listen, if it wins games, I haven't got a problem with, but we certainly have got absolutely no creativity. I was very frustrated during the game when every time we got the ball in the middle and there was a chance and turn to go forward, we would just go sideways and back again. I don't know what you felt about that. I thought Porro went back a lot during the game. I thought there were times when Van der Ven could have gone forward and he just kept going sideways. Benton called pick it up, and instead of turning and going, he would go back. And yeah, for me, it was just a very frustrating night. Um,
I just
but
just think I just
like I say,
think
we got the
Nige
result.
that yeah we got the result and it's important, but it's we're going to struggle sometimes. When teams play a low block or all very defensively organised, we just don't have those kind of that drive in that midfield there. That somebody who's going to be brave. Bergvall is young. Maybe it will come from him, but we just didn't have enough in there to somebody really to kind of take hold of the game for us. I think Benton Core first half was okay. Second half he was poor. He gave the ball away. We gave the ball away so many times in that second half. We were so sloppy, and we're so lucky that Villarreal just didn't have their shooting boots on because they could have easily scored. I don't know, guys. I don't know what it was. Is it quality? Is it just bit of naivety from Spurs going into that game? Just think we were going to win. I don't know what it is. What people are saying in the chat, Nige?
Um, well, I think this is an interesting comment. Blue is saying this is 60% down to the window we had. Yeah, Villarreal are a good side, but no left wing. Shit striker and Richie. What did we expect? I don't know. I kind of expect a little bit of a better performance than that. Is it because we haven't played Champions League football for a while? I don't know. I don't know. Let's go through the chat and see what people are saying.
Because a lot of people, Nige, are
Um,
saying, "Oh, we'll get out of this league format. Yeah, top 8, no problem." You watch that tonight, it is going to be a struggle. If we play like that, who are we playing next in the Champions League?
we are away to Bodo, so again a game we should win really on paper, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll see. We will see. But listen, I guess at the end of the day, it's all about just sometimes you just get the result, you move on from it, 3 points in the bag, and you move on to next. Dexter saying definitely wasn't box office entertainment value. One shot on target and an OG winner. Yeah, it's probably a terrible game for the neutral. Um, but it's what Spurs do in Europe. We're not the most exciting side in Europe, are we? But
Well, we haven't lost in what's that, 21 games now, isn't it, at home in Europe, which is something.
yeah,
But again, look, Frank's got to work it out, hasn't he? He's got to work it out. Mawani came on a bit too late, in my opinion. But Mawani's not playing, needs space to run into. And Villarreal
yeah,
didn't give up any space. He's not the best at holding the ball up either. So I don't know. We'll have to see a bit more of him, see what he can offer us. Hopefully we'll start at the weekend because we need something to play on that left. Someone who's going to do something. Because Simons, for me, is just going to get marked out of the game. He's just can't. You could see he's got quality on the ball, but he's got to be moved centrally. He has to be moved centrally if we want to get anything out of this guy. And it's just such a waste on the left. I don't understand it. Just shoehorning him in, isn't it, really, Frank is? He's obviously big, expensive signing in the summer. We've got to play him. But surely he was brought in for that number 10, right? He said in the interview at the weekend, yeah, I'm a number 10. Yeah. Yes, I've played on the left, but I'm a number 10. But is that to do with the formation Frank's putting out, this kind of 4-4-3-3, right?
I'm guessing so. But even with 4-3-3, you would think that, one of those midfielders could be a 10. You could play with a double pivot of a Bentancur and a Polinia, and then have your Simons as a 10. But again, we go back to that problem. Who plays on the left? Obviously he doesn't fancy Odebell at all because he's not getting any game time. What did he get? A couple of minutes right at the end against West Ham. So the left-hand side is a concern. And I must admit, I thought when the window shut, I thought we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We got enough out there that can do something at least till January. But actually watching that game tonight, like you say, Simons wasted out there. He's probably one of our most talented players. And just to have him out on the left is counterproductive for me. I think he has to play in the 10. We have to get the best out of him. And we're not going to do it with him on the left, in my opinion. So who do we play out now? I don't know what to say.
If we could maybe go three at the back, wing backs, then play Kudos and Simons behind the striker. We've got to do something. And again, we've got Brighton away at the weekend, which they're going to come for us. They're going to press. They're going to be like playing similar to like City play, So it might suit us more because there will be space for us to kind of get them on the counter attack like we did against City. But games when teams come to us and are organised defensively, sit back a bit, we've got to do more to break them down. It is a concern right now. I know we've had a good start to the season, but I see it. I mean, even the West Ham game, there was issues. There was definitely issues in how we played, and we've beaten Burnley, which we should do. We did play really well against City. Frank got his tactics spot on. Lost to Bournemouth. So Brighton will be a test because we don't normally play well at their ground. We've lost a few times there, haven't we? They normally get the better of us, but maybe Frank, to see how Frank will approach that one. Will he go, three at the back? Will he go playing on the counter attack, play a bit deeper like we did against City? I don't know. We'll have to see, right? These are the games, Nige. These are the games where I want to see Spurs play. These, better Premier League sides who can play football. Yeah. Right. And, it's okay, beating the likes of Burnley, West Ham, or, they're not very good sides. It's how we get on against the better sides. And we saw tonight against Villareal, we really, really struggled to dominate. We're at home. We didn't dominate, did we? We didn't create enough. And there was just no kind of change to the way we played. Frank just kind of substituted plays. He didn't change tactics, didn't adjust it. We could all see that as fans that we needed to do something different. But again, Frank didn't. I know we got the win, which is fair enough, but we've got to look at these things.
We have. And I think Bucky actually makes a good point. Said I would love to see our players running in behind more, especially players like Kudos and Xavi, still adapting to the system. And just the last sentence out, adapting to the system. This is what we got to remember. I mean, as much as Xavi's come in and we all rate him, he is new. He's only played a couple of games. So it is going to take him time to settle, maybe.
It would help if they put him in his right position, wouldn't it, Nige?
Well, that would help. That would help. I'm trying to think of the positives. one clean sheet. Sorry, 4 clean sheets this season already. Tonight again, Vicario didn't have too much to do. That was more by luck than the fact they didn't hit the target, I guess. But yeah, it's hard to think of too many positives tonight, even though we won the game, because it just was really lackluster. And I'm starting to think maybe we might be better away from home this season, because that's 3 home performances. One of them Burnley. I mean, most teams are going to beat Burnley at home. But Bournemouth and now Villarreal, I think two quite average performances. Well, one really poor performance and one average performance. Whereas away, we've been pretty decent.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we have 2 away wins in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Johnson,
Yeah.
for me, is
And
such a
then,
frustrating player, isn't he, Johnson? He obviously,
oh
Frank
God,
don't
yeah.
fancy him. He's not starting him. He started the first 3 games on that left, right, in the team. Got a couple of goals, and everyone's thinking, yeah, he's the solution. He's not. Johnson, I don't really know what we're going to do with him, really, on that left. He's so poor on that left, isn't he? He's on his wrong foot. The only thing we can get out of him is, playing him close to the striker more centrally, running off a striker, or coming on late in games when the other team are pushing in their space. That's all I think he can offer.
Well, the trouble is, yeah, if you do that, and you're right, I think off a striker would be good. But if we do that, then we're not playing effectively. We're not playing a number 10, are we? Because we're playing 2 up front. So, Frank's got a lot to do. But I agree, Johnson on left's a complete waste of time. He does absolutely nothing. But then I'm trying to think of who else we got, and pretty much everyone on the left does absolutely nothing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now up until the new year. See whether we sign anyone in January. Eugene saying I'm already being called negative for pointing out that we can't score goals. I mean, we can score. We have scored a few this season, but
Well, let's go through them, Nige. Yeah, Burnley was good goals, right? Yeah,
yeah,
City, we pounced on their errors, didn't we? For the goals. Yeah,
yeah,
they weren't as roughly, good bit of play. It was kind of opportunist, right? Then Bournemouth, yeah, very, very poor performance. Frank admitted that he said that he got it wrong in his press conference the other day. West Ham, was it set piece, and then they went down to 10 men. So we are struggling to create clear-cut chances consistently. Kudos is trying. He's trying to take on his man. He's trying to beat the fullback. He's trying to get crosses in the box. We had a great chance to, put a good ball in today, but just made the wrong decision. When he got into the final third. And then you look at the left, Spence doesn't really end up going anywhere because he's got to cut in. Then you've got Simmons is not a left winger. And then who else is there, really? Sarr had a shot. Bergvall is kind of very, he kind of dips in and out of the game, doesn't he, Bergvall? You don't see him for ages. And then suddenly he would do a little run, try and do something. He's not consistently attacking well. And then you've got Richarlison, who I just don't rate. He's just not good enough. Against some of the poorer teams in the league, he will score. But you can't rely on him. And, we've got Solanke coming back soon. He's better than him, yeah, but he's not a lot better, is he? To be honest, I don't know what he's going to be like when we get back in. He can't get a shot away quick enough, Solanke. He's not. He hasn't got that clutch goals in him. So yeah, when then he got Mawani, we just don't know how he's going to get on in the Premier League. You have to hope that he does something. But look, again, it's early for Frank, isn't it? I know we're a bit negative because we put in that rubbish performance, but we've got to give it a bit of time. Let Frank work on this team.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it is really early to judge too much, and we have got to remember we did win the game. It's just very frustrating, isn't it? Because
Well,
as we
Nige,
said,
what did you
everyone's
expect tonight, mate? What did you expect tonight? You tell me.
I expected, honestly, as a Spurs fan, it's a tip. It feels like a typical Tottenham European performance to me, whereas the build-up's massive. You're all excited. And even when you win games, I can remember winning games under Poch, mind in Europe, not all of them, but some of them. I can remember on our run to the Europa League, Champions League final. I remember beating Inter Milan at Wembley, 2-1 with like 2 really late goals and scrappy goals and games we were awful in, and we got over the line. And it just feels a bit like that when we're in Europe. You know, we don't particularly play well, we get the result. If you look at those 21 games that we've won at home, apparently in Europe, or we haven't lost for 21, I reckon at least half of them we could have lost. You know, we've got over the line because, you know,
Yeah.
we've won by a single goal or a penalty or something like that. I just don't think we ever perform. But I was expecting more than what we got tonight. I thought, I don't know, I expected some chances, some excitement, and we just didn't create anything. It felt a lot like that Bournemouth game where we created next to nothing. I can remember a pot shot from Simons from the edge of the box in the first couple of minutes, which was unlucky. Another shot he had just inside the box, which he should have done better. Can't remember a lot else that we
There's a
did.
cross from Porro. Or no, kudos to Richarlison. It hit his hand.
Yeah,
We struggled. It's really struggled to create anything good. Just to control the game. Villarreal were in the game. You know, they were there. You know, they were. I think we had more possession and passes, but Villarreal was. You know, they really were quite aggressive in that second half. You know, and they didn't. You know, they didn't give us anything.
no, no, they didn't. It's it's difficult, isn't it? Because
One shot on
we've
target,
won the
both
game.
teams.
Yeah, it was an awful game, an awful game, and it's a typical. And I know the group stage isn't the same now. The league stage is different to the group stage, where you could get there's a lot of poor games, isn't there? You know, the league phase is almost like there's something riding on every game, but it did feel like an early group game where you know we will see better games going forward. I'm sure in the Champions League from Spurs, and it
Well, we've
is
got to
kind
up
of
the
a nightmare,
level. We've
isn't it?
got to up the level in performances because you can't.
Yeah,
We won't get out. We won't finish top 8 if we play like that across all the matches. 7 more to play.
no, no, no.
You get found
But
out. Look at Dortmund tonight. Didn't they win? Didn't they beat Juventus
they
in the
were
end? Wasn't it?
they were 4-2 up, weren't they? I think
Yeah, I think we've got to go to. Are they coming to us? I think.
they're coming to us. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be a tough one. You know, how are we going to get
Mm.
on against them?
Yeah, I must admit, I thought Dortmund were not that good. I thought they'd be. I thought we'd do them this season, but watching them beat Juve like they have, um, yeah, they let me down on my fixed odds as well. So not happy about that. Let's just go for a bit of the chat. Um, Lord Rodney saying, however, if this was 3 months into the season, it could really have been a different result. Possibly, and we are still finding our way, aren't we? You know, players getting used to a new manager, new tactics, new players, and trying to think positive. You know that
But
we
Nige,
won
you
the
just
game.
can't be
It's-
positive when you play crap like that. Let's be honest.
I know, but
You know,
no,
we're
but we
allowed
did
to
win the game.
criticise. We're allowed to criticise, aren't we? The
Absolutely,
performances.
yeah, yeah. The performance was poor, but sometimes just winning's enough, I guess. But we definitely got to get better going forward. If we play like that in our next 7 Champions League games, then we will struggle. Like you say, we'll struggle to go through. Um, Cyrus saying Van der Ven, smart professional foul, took a yellow, fair play to him. Yeah, I must admit, I thought he was going to go for that. Don't know what you thought, Dan.
Yeah, it was close, wasn't it? Close. But this is what we were getting ourselves into because we didn't score another goal. You know, we were really kind of
No.
at risk of dropping points in that game. We
That was
really
a
were.
really
And
high
another
line as
day
well,
we could have.
wasn't it?
What's that?
That was a really high line as well.
What throughout the game?
No, for the penalty for the Van der Ven tackle that was a free kick just outside the box. The line was really high, supposing we were, trying to hold on to a lead. I was a bit concerned about that when I saw the replay.
Yeah, I think the defenders were trying to squeeze up, weren't they? Squeeze the play,
Mm.
but we just couldn't get hold of it in midfield. We had nobody who could dominate the ball. No one.
No, no. I think when Polina come on, he definitely helped that. Um, put
Well,
in a good little
Paulinho
shift
just
for
comes in,
10
doesn't he?
minutes.
Gets stuck in, doesn't he?
Mm,
Paulinho, that's what he does. You know, he comes charging in,
yeah.
slide tackles. You know, he's not going to control the game. You know, he's just there to kind of stop things and then give the ball to somebody else who can create. The problem is when he gave it to somebody else, that somebody else couldn't do it.
That's it. Who else have we got in that midfield who can control the game?
No one. We haven't got a player like that. I said beginning of the summer we needed a playmaker type in our midfield. Yeah, but
Right.
then all the attention went on to the number 10 because of Maddison. Yeah, which we did need.
Yeah.
But, you know, I see this midfield for the last few seasons that we lack that person who can dominate football matches for us. You know, the tempo
Yeah.
setter. We ain't got a player like that.
No. No. And what did you think of Frank tonight? Because for me, I thought he was a bit slow on doing his subs. You know, you could tell in the first 10 minutes of the second half it wasn't working. I felt like we needed a change. When did he make his first
Do
one?
you
Like
think he made a
68 minutes?
positive change? Do you think he made a positive change?
No, I just think he made like for like changes,
There
to
you
be
go.
honest.
There you go. We needed
Um,
something. We needed something else creative to come on to help the team, right? But he chose to kind of be a bit more safe, you know, player for player. I don't mind Paulinho coming on, but then also what we're going to do in the attacking third because it wasn't
yeah,
working. That was the problem. So you either change your formation, yeah, or put on a player that maybe think can make a difference. Bring on Moani earlier, give him a bit of a chance to get into the game. You know, just throwing him on in the last 10 minutes, it's going to be hard for him, isn't it? Especially when the kind of momentum was with Villarreal to come back into the game and equalise. So you know that's how the game was going. We just couldn't turn it back into our favour. We couldn't control the ball and just kind of create things.
yeah, it was poor, but I don't know. I kind of felt it. Frank wasn't helped by the fact that I don't know whether Xavi's 100% fit yet, and I think the fact that he put that tackle in and probably should have got a second yellow for it kind of forced him to maybe have to take him off. Because I would have liked to have seen when he made changes, like you say, Xavi then move into the 10. But I think Xavi was kind of on his way to another tackle away from a red card. So I kind of think he had to come off. Let's see who else is in the chat. Jordan said Moani is a bang average footballer. Yes, he's well, listen, hey. He didn't do a lot tonight, but we were defending by the time he come on. Didn't really have a lot of chance, did he, guys? 143 in the house. Smash that like. Hit that subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button to both channels if you can. Simon saying Xavi number 10. Yeah, that would be nice. I am well behind on the chat, so I will skip a few guys.
Pick
Yes,
up Ellie.
Nige, we move on. 3 points in the bag. 27 wins, 4 draws at White Hart Lane. So, yeah, I mean, we have got a good home record, haven't we? Even if we're not playing well, we're getting the results, and I guess that's the main thing at the end of the day. But any standout performances for you, Dan? Anyone that like stood out that you thought had a decent game? Or
Kudus was okay, but again, his final ball was poor. You know, trying to take on the play. At least he's trying. Problem is, this the quality around him, isn't it? You know, Richarlison,
yeah,
nobody really running into the box. It just nobody had that intent today, did they? You know, nobody had that bravery, that quality to make anything happen. We lacked it. You know, look at previous teams we've had, Nige. We've always had somebody who could, you know, and is going to make something happen. But unfortunately today, nobody really stood up, stepped up. Moment of quality ball, you know, defense splitting pass. Do you know what I mean? Amazing shot. You know, when the game's going like that, when it's not the best game, but you just need that bit of quality kind of, you know, but
yeah.
we just didn't have it, did we?
No, it was frustrating. I think there was a time in the second half. It was one point. I think we had a breakaway, and I can't remember who was running down the line. I think it might have been Porro, and it's like he was looking up to cross it, and there was no one anywhere near the box. And it's like we're at home. Let's attack. But yeah, just a really
You can put it.
disjointed. I think it
Yeah,
felt.
not Nige. You can put it down to this. If it's early days for Frank. Yeah, he's just got here. He's got a lot of work to do with his team. Obviously, many fans question some of our players. Yeah, we know that some of them are never going to be good enough. But can Frank get more out of them? That's the thing, isn't it? And over time, maybe I just don't think we know as fans, or Frank knows his best team, his best attacking line at midfield. Defense is pretty set. I think we all kind of know who our best defense is. There's not many options there, is it? Do you know what I mean? So that's set.
Right.
Midfield, maybe a couple. But for the rest of the side, we don't know. And maybe Frank is still trying to work it out, what's going to work. But that left side's a massive issue. We need some creativity in midfield. So that looks like it's Xavi, but he's not playing him there. Kudos on the right is set. Richarlison, Solanke, Mawani up front. I don't know who's going to kind of be the lead striker in the team. Like kept playing most weeks. Who's going to play in that forward position? We don't know yet, do we? I mean, we will say Mawani because we think he's a better player than those two. You know.
Well, let's be honest. We haven't really seen him, have we? So
yeah, again, we got to see him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard to judge him on tonight. So what did he have? 15 minutes, and at that point we were defending. We weren't really attacking, so there wasn't. He was just chasing shadows every time the ball was knocked up long to him. He was just chasing it, and I felt a bit sorry for him, really. But for me, I thought Van der Ven had a half decent game. But yeah, trying to think of anyone else. Kudus did okay. A few blind alleys. Other than that, like I say, Bentancur looked busy. Did a few good things. Thought he got caught out of position a few times. For me, Bergvall, exactly like you said earlier, he every now and again he'd pop up and do something, and you'll be like, "Oh, there he is," and then he'd go missing again. And I think probably that was Sarr's worst performance for this season as well. So I think a lot of poor performances, a few half decent ones, and a goalkeeping error give us the victory. So I think we just look at it, smile, say thank you very much, we take it, and we move on to when are we playing now? Saturday, is it? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
I'll have a look.
Don't know when we're playing actually.
Let's have a look. See what day it's on. But that's going to be a tough game, Brighton. I mean, they ain't started the best this season. They've only got one win, but normally we struggle against them. So we'll see how we get on. I was just having a look at the fixtures. So Saturday, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, Saturday, 3:00.
Is that?
Yeah.
So how do you think we do? Let's have a quick chat about the Brighton game. How do you think we do Saturday? Who do you think plays? What would you like to see?
I don't know. No, it's just you never know with Frank, do you? What he's going to do. I want to see Simons centrally. Kudos right. Hopefully Richarlison's back. Give him a game. Play Mawani left, maybe. Just see what he's like there. I want to see a doggy in the side. Yeah, I want to see him play left. He's a natural left back. Yeah, I know people in the chat say he's a wing back, which is true. But I want to see a natural width from that left. Bentancur, Paulini in central, and Xavi in front of him. That's what I would go for. Play like 4-2, 4-2-1-3.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be against that at all. For me, I'd like to see a doggy start at the weekend. Either rest Spence or play him right back.
Could do that.
For me, I wouldn't mind seeing Porro given a rest. I think he plays every game. I think sometimes maybe a rest to do him good. So maybe play Spence on the right, same two in the back. And for me, Paulini and Bentancur have to be the anchor, and then Simons in the 10. Kudus on the right, Mawani up front, and maybe Richarlison out left. I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because like you say, that left-hand side is.
There's some point you've got to give Wilson a run in the side, right? Got to give him a chance, right? I don't know if he's not impressing in training. Frank don't rate him. I know he doesn't rate him because we're trying to sign a left winger. He doesn't, he doesn't rate Tell. Tell's not the solution. I don't know. What do people in the chat think? What are they expecting? Bournemouth at the weekend. Do you think we'll win? Do you think it's going to be a struggle? Do you think we'll play a bit like we did against City, kind of sit in a bit, plan a counter attack? There will be space because Brighton like to, they like to push. They have quite a high line, pressing team, get amongst us. What are people thinking about Brighton? Are you confident? I'm not. Got to be honest.
No, I don't know. Let's bring this up. Hey, user, thank you very much, mate. So disappointed with the way we played. Too sloppy, too many misplaced passes, but we got the win. Need to go back to the drawing board. I'm a bit worried. Yeah, it was a terrible performance, but we did get the win. We got away with one tonight, and we move on. Let's see what people in the chat are saying, what they would do at the weekend. Oh wow! Juventus at Dortmund was 4-4.
Was it in the end? They came back. What a game! What a game! That was the game of the night. Rather than our boring game. It was probably the worst game of the evening. It was terrible, wasn't it? So boring. The game was just nothing happened.
There was a lot of goals, wasn't there, everywhere? I think Real Madrid won 2-1, did they? And Benfica, did they lose at home to Karabag or something? A few shocks.
I've got Brighton's results so far. Okay. So they drew at home to Fulham. Then they lost away to Everton. The one in the Carabao Cup beat Oxford United 6-0 away. Then they got that good result against City 2-1. And then they lost away to Bournemouth. But they ain't had the best start. There's some tricky games there, I guess. They're sitting 13th. 1 win, 1 draw, 2 defeats, 4 goals, 4 conceded. Oh, no, actually, sorry, 4 goals scored, 6 conceded. So they're not scoring a lot of goals. They're struggling.
I think we win. I think we beat them on Saturday. After hearing that, I think
they smashed us, didn't they, at the end of last season? Do you remember at home?
Yeah, that was
a
bit of a hangover, wasn't it, from the Europa League win last? Was it the last home game of the season?
I was still annoyed. I was still annoyed. I weren't happy.
Yeah, no, I hate losing at any time, but would have been nice to end. Yeah, I think Brighton did double over us last season, didn't they? So we 0-1. I think we'll beat them. I think we'll beat them on Saturday. Depending on who we play, of course. But
they play with natural width. The thing is with Brighton, they've got wingers, right? They've got a right Mintam, and then they've got Matoma on the left, and they play with a Welbeck up front. And they've got that Babella, who's linked to Man United. A lot of energy in midfield. Yeah. You know what you're going to get when you play Brighton. Full of energy. They'll give you chances. They will, but they'll press you. They won't give up. And you've got to be on it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, they have got a couple of really good wingers, a couple of quick wingers. So Poro's going to have his work cut out if he plays against, God, I forgot who plays at Matoma. And so will Doggy or Spence with Mita or Mita, whatever his name is. But I think we got enough. I think we got enough to do them.
Why don't I? What gives you confidence for that we'll go and beat Brighton?
The way we're playing away from home.
Okay.
I'd probably be less confident if we were at home. I just like the way we're set up away. We tend to play a bit more counter-attacking, and I think that maybe suits us a little bit more with the wingers that certainly with Kudus. I can see us getting a result. It's not going to be easy. And, if you said to me now, would you take a draw? I'd probably take it, but I don't see why we can't go there and win. Brighton are not ripping up any trees at the moment. So, I think we can go there and get a result.
They played James Milner in central midfield against Bournemouth at the weekend.
Yeah.
How old is he now? What, 38 and 39 is he now? What is he?
39, I think, yeah.
And then they play Hinselwood as well in midfield. So maybe they've got some injuries there at the moment. He's a centre back, isn't he? Hinselwood, I'm sure
Was
he
it a
is.
centre back or a left back or right back? I don't know, but didn't he score against us last season? I think he did.
Yeah. Might have been a fullback. I can't remember now.
Mm. But no, they're a decent side. Brighton are a funny team. You know, they can beat anyone on their day, but they can lose to anyone on their day as well. So it just depends
They
what
lost.
Brighton turn up,
They
I
lost their
guess.
striker, didn't they? Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah. I can't think who they got up front for them though. So
Welbeck.
yeah,
It's Welbeck.
a Welbeck. Yeah, we should be able to keep him quiet. Surely, surely.
Well, they
Touch
done that.
wood.
But they last season they beat us at home, and then they
They
beat us
did.
at their ground, didn't they? As well. They got a
Yeah,
double over us.
yeah. We should never have lost that game then. That game was the one that turned me and Jay 2-0 up at half time and then falling apart second half.
So
But
yeah, Lord Rodney Trotter in the chat says Google says defensive midfielder. Maybe he is. I thought he was a fullback, or maybe he is.
maybe he's one of these players who plays everywhere, just fills in. I don't know, but he's a decent player. Queen Annie saying if we bought Vlahovic, that transforms us. He scored two great goals and one terrific. Yeah, we're saying all summer what of Vlahovic, but
That's ambition, isn't it?
well, yeah, exactly. Queen Annie saying we scored 8, conceded 1. Yeah, so I mean we're scoring goals. They're not. I mean, apart from the first game when Richarlison scored that lovely scissor kick, we're not scoring great goals, are we? But we're scoring goals. Um, we're just not creating a lot. That's my concern at the moment, Dan. We don't seem to be creating much at all.
No, he hasn't worked it out yet.
No.
But the thing is,
No.
all good sides, they need to be built on a good defence. And, it's not perfect. We do give away chances, but on the whole, it's been a lot better, isn't it, than what we saw last season. And it's early
Yeah,
still,
absolutely.
but to give it time.
Yeah, and 4 clean sheets out of 5 games. We would have took that at the start of the season, wouldn't we? If someone said you're going to concede only 1 goal in the first 5, we would have taken that. So, yeah, you're right though. We're not. There's still a lot to do in that forward area, and I think for me, not having a really top quality striker is a big issue. Richarlison I don't like at all, and
But
Solanke's always injured.
people get carried away, right? Because we make this good start that we think we're going to finish in the top 5. I just can't see it at the moment. I'm not saying it's impossible, but we've got to be a lot better in the way we attack and play, and maybe we will. Maybe given time, maybe we will. But we do need a winger. We definitely need to go and sign that left winger in January, and whatever else, and maybe a playmaker in midfield, someone who in there who can control games. Get rid of Basuma, loan out Gray, get a bit of space in there. We need quality in that midfield.
Yeah, you do look at it and you think to yourself, we've a lot of people saying we've got a big squad, but you actually look at our squad, and Bassoon was clearly not going to play because he was left out of the squad again tonight, wasn't he? I think.
He's not included in the Champions League list.
No. So he's clearly not wanted. Gray isn't good enough. So if we get an injury to a Bentincourt or Polinia, we are literally at Bergvall and Sarr. And if they get injured, one of them gets injured or suspended, we've got nobody.
Well, that's why Frank's got to juggle it, isn't he? And he's been doing that, hasn't he? He's been mixing up the teams, resting players. He's been doing rotation, which is right. So there is a lot of good stuff Frank's done. Yeah, just not get too down in the dumps due to another bad performance. But we're going to question things, aren't we? Because we know what this squad is like. There's a lot of numbers, but there's a lack of quality, isn't there?
Yeah. No, that's absolutely bang on. And Scott M saying Eugene not quite Ange levels of Cortez, but not really your favourite.
Big up, Scott.
Yeah, we can criticise Frank a little bit,
We
but
will.
for the most part, it is early days, like you said, and the main thing is, apart from the Bournemouth game, we're not losing games. I think it'd be a concern if we were playing this badly and losing as well.
Yeah,
Um,
getting results.
so at least
We're
the
kind of a
results are coming.
functioning team without being that kind of amazing or exciting or in an attacking
Mm.
sense. We're very functional. You know, try and play to our strengths, but a lot more work to do, and it's going to take time, right? Frank's just got here. We've got to be realistic. Not all going to be magic straight away. I don't know. I just don't really know what team we are right now. It's hard to know.
Mm. Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? I don't think we're going to see the best of Spurs maybe till after Christmas.
Yeah,
Every job that Frank's been in, he's always started slowly. Brentford, I think he only won like what's it, one of his first 9 or something like that.
that's right.
Um, so the fact that we're winning games, even though we're not playing fantastic, is a good sign for me because it means we're only going to get better, and then hopefully, we'll start winning even more games. Big up, Lynn. But yeah, anything else you want to add tonight, mate? Anything else you want to talk about?
Um, just go through the chat, mate. Go through the chat, and then let's have a look and see if there's some reaction. I'm just going to look up some reaction on social media, see if there's anything that we've missed, what we ain't covered in tonight's show. Just having a little scan through that now while you just go through the chat, mate.
Yeah. Big up Ryan and big up lads and chat. Tonight showed how few good passes of the ball we have. We seem to have assembled a lot of players with very poor technique. Yeah, I just don't think they deal well with pressure, some of our players, personally. But yeah, can't argue with it. Lynn
Everything's
saying I'm
kind of
not being
pointing. Sorry, Nige, go for it.
sorry, mate. I'll just read this one out. Lynn saying I'm not being disingenuous towards Frank, but you could see tonight that he was much more nervous on the line than he was in the Premier League. Yeah, I kind of guess that's understandable. What you saying, mate?
Yeah, just most people online are just pointing towards the attack. Disappointing.
Hmm.
Lack of really good quality passes in the side is an issue.
Yeah,
Lacking that final ball quality in the final third. That's what most people are kind of saying.
yeah.
The stadium attendance was only 54 tonight.
Mm.
What do you think of that, Nige?
Disappointing, isn't it? I think they priced it all up wrong, didn't they?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think the tickets were maybe a bit too expensive. Um, but I'm sure they'll hopefully learn for the next game. But yeah, disappointing turnout for the opening Champions League game. I think Jimmy's hit the nail on the head here when he said tonight was virtually our strongest team. We got no chance of finishing top 6, in my opinion. It is a concern when you look at it. I mean, you can argue maybe Polini apart. That was pretty much our strongest team.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think if you look at the other teams in the league, do you think
Hmm.
who do you think we're better in that top 5?
I don't think we're better than anyone in that top 4. Definitely. Maybe Newcastle ahead of us, but I see us better than Villa this season. Definitely. Villa haven't even scored a goal in their opening 4 games. I know it is only 4 games, but
Is that true? They ain't scored one goal.
they haven't scored a goal yet, and apparently they're out of the cup tonight as well.
Are they?
Apparently, yeah. I just checked.
Emery's could get
They
sacked,
lost
couldn't he
on
soon if that
penalties.
carries on?
Mm.
I know they
Yeah,
didn't have a
yeah.
very good window.
No, so Villa aren't going to do anything like they did last season. Um, so I think we've got a good chance of finishing top 6. But I'm forgetting teams like Bournemouth, who everyone said would go down because they lost their entire defence. They're looking really good. Brighton
Bournemouth
are decent.
outplayed us, didn't they? But do they have the squad to last the season? This is the thing, isn't it?
That's it. But with only one game a week, you would think they probably could get by. But now it's going to be interesting to see. Read a couple more comments. Eugene saying we won't be able to keep this up. Getting results now is great, but lack of quality up front will catch us up. Yes, I think that's probably right.
It's like a bit of a change, isn't it? You know, like when Ange came in, we were just so gung ho, weren't we, in the first 10 games, weren't we? And
Yeah.
we had all those wins, getting away with it in quite a few of those. Do you think we're getting away with it, Nige, in the season so far? I think we got away with it tonight.
We got away with it tonight, definitely. I actually don't. I actually think we've been, apart from Bournemouth, where we were awful, we outclassed West Ham first 20 minutes apart. We thoroughly deserved to beat City, and we outclassed Burnley. So for me, not yet. It's a bigger test to come, isn't it? But for me, I just think European nights are such a letdown. You even look at our Europa League games. How many Europa League games did we actually turn up and play it? We were poor in most of them, but we got over the line. I think there's another one tonight.
You can't do it in the Champions League, though. You can't.
No.
You might be able to get away with it in the Europa League, but not in the Champions League.
Well, no. Again, we got away with it tonight, didn't we? But again, better sides will punish us. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
We got the cup match next week.
Doncaster in the cup, yeah. So you would think players will get rested for that. You would think you'll see the likes of Archie Gray playing that game.
Yeah.
Danzo, maybe Dragoshin if he's back. Don't know if he is. I know he's training, but
Just trying to look what day that is. I think it's on the Wednesday.
I think so. Yeah.
It's on the Wednesday next week, and then the weekend after that we got Wolves at home.
Hmm.
So if you look at our fixtures, Nige, everyone in the chat, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's really not too bad. It has a lot of winnable games. The fixtures have been kind to us for the first part of the season. Our Champions League draws being fairly kind to us as well. League Cup draw being kind to us. Home tie. It's good. It's good. For us, but I don't know.
No, I agree. I was watching your show the other day you did with Chris, and he said, didn't he, on your show that it wouldn't surprise him if come October time, end of October, that Spurs were in the top three, just because of the run of fixtures we got, because we got very winnable fixtures early doors.
Yeah,
doesn't mean, of course, we're going to finish in that area, but yeah, I think we should be. I think we should be in amongst it by the end of October.
Where's that?
Whether we are or not.
What, top 5?
I think we should be in that top 4 or 5, yeah, by the end of October with the fixtures we got. Because we haven't really got anyone big.
And then we'll see in January if the board have got ambition to kind of strengthen the squad for the run-in. If we could get, Champions League football next, then the club have got to strengthen the team. What we need, what we're missing, what injuries we got, how can we improve the side? It's what we got a lot to do. What competitions we're still in, the FA Cup to play. Where are we in that Carabao Cup, Champions League? It's a long old season. At the moment, we ain't got any injuries really. I know we've had like some long-term injuries we ain't come back, but so far, no one's picked up anything serious. I think Solanke's been injured for a long time, hasn't he? So they're trying to avoid an operation for him. I don't know how that one's going to go.
No, it doesn't seem to be. I'm not hearing that he's any closer to being back either. I don't know if you've heard anything, but
they keep saying he's getting nearer and nearer, but he's not quite there yet. They're being very cautious with him.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a concern. What I want us to be is in around that top 6 or 7 by the start of January. Even if we're 7th or 8th, we get into January, if we can hit then and buy a couple of players that go straight into that first team and have a real shot of ending the season well, that'd be great. But I don't know. I think all we can do is take it every game at a time at the moment, isn't it?
What could I ask a question to the chat? What does everyone think of Kudus so far and his start he's made at Spurs?
Yeah, let us know, chat. Kudus. What do you think, mate?
Hasn't scored yet, as he's got a couple of assists, right?
No.
First game of the season against Burnley. He's put in a really good performance against City in the kind of hard-working sense, tracking back,
Yeah.
getting us up the pitch. You worried about his final ball at all, Nige?
A little bit worried about his decision making at times, but I just think when the ball goes to him, it sticks, doesn't it? It isn't very often that if the ball goes to him, you know that he's probably going to control it. He's probably going to either win a free kick or not lose a ball, which I don't think about with some of our other players. As soon as it goes up to him, it's just
Yeah.
going to come straight back.
He's
I
good on
like
the
him.
ball, isn't
I
he?
like.
He's good at the ball
Mm,
sticks to his feet. Yeah, you're right. That I do like that about him. Just hopefully we'll get a bit more end product. But again, when you got Richarlison up there, it's he's not the most clinical of strikers, is he?
no, I mean that
What do you
ball
think of
into him
his
tonight,
performance,
kudos.
mate? What did you think of his
Which
performance, Richarlison? Yeah, a lot of huff and puff.
it's bloody awful. He's an awful player, isn't he? I mean, he's capable of brilliance with the finish that he did, obviously opening game. But more often than not, he he walks around sulking. Again, this old saying, he works hard. I think, as fans now, we need to be pleased when a player works hard. He does work hard, but he's got very little talent. And for me, just no, just we've had so many good strikers over the years, haven't we? Kane, Sheringham, Robbie Keane, Defoe, Berbatov at the game tonight.
Yeah,
Oh, I'd take Berbatov now rather than Richarlison.
he won't
Awful
leave, will
player.
he? This is the thing. The club won't force him out.
No,
This is another thing the club have
no.
got to get better at, moving on players. Which
Mm.
they just stick around too long. Can't get rid of them.
I think both of our strikers, I think Richarlison and Solanke need to be sold next summer, and we
Yeah?
need to be spending money, proper money on a top striker or two top strikers.
You don't think either of them. Solanke, you don't rate him either. Didn't you say he was going to score 20 goals this season, Nige?
Well, yeah,
Was that
yeah, but
you?
he's got to be fit to do that, isn't he? I did say, well, this is when we were in for Savinho and Eze. I thought with the service he's going to get, any striker should score 20 goals for Spurs.
Yeah.
And I did say Solanke because I thought Solanke would be starting, but obviously he's not fit. I still think whoever plays up front for Spurs should be hitting 20 Premier League goals.
Well, nothing's coming from the left at the moment. No creativity's coming from the left, so it's just kudos. And then you got nobody in the
Yeah,
middle
but
creating anything, have you?
well, you would hope that within the next couple of weeks, Simmons would start hitting the ground and he'll start connecting with. In fact, he hasn't got that relationship with players yet, has he? He
No.
hasn't. Spence tends to run into him. Um, they don't seem to have a good understanding at all at the moment, Simmons and Spence. So, yeah, maybe Simmons will work better with Udogie out there. I don't know.
Yeah. I want to see a doggy have a bit of a run. Yeah.
Mm.
He's not been the best, has he, since last season, the doggy. I mean, I know a lot of it was down to Ange, but, we'll see how he is under Frank. See if he improves because he's just kind of stopped, hasn't he? He hasn't really got better. I know he's had injuries,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
I don't know about him. The jury's out on a dog eater for me. What about you, Nige? Convinced?
No, not yet. But again, he played under Ange. I don't. It's hard to think of any player that plays for Spurs under Ange and think that most of them were pretty poor, especially defensively. So for me, I'm gonna give him a chance this season, see what he does. Definitely not convinced me yet, but I just as much as I like Spence, and he did have an awful game tonight, and I don't want to hit him too hard because he has been brilliant. I do feel like we are a bit lopsided when he plays on the left. I think maybe a left foot on the left would serve us, but serve us
Well,
better.
again, I said we needed a natural left back, but a lot of fans are convinced he's the answer. I don't think so. I
Spence,
think he can do a job there,
no,
but he's not.
yeah,
He can do a
mm,
job there. He's a talented player. He's got some skill, but again, he never plays right back, does he?
no. The
Porro's going to
problem
have to
is
have a
Spence.
rest at some point, and he can't play every game,
Yeah,
Porro.
no. Spence is a good defender, but he's a good defender. The problem is because we've got nothing going forward, really. You know, we need our fullbacks to help, and Spence isn't really the man going forward.
What do you
So
think of
yeah,
Sar, mate? What do you think of Sar?
Sarr I think has been fantastic up until tonight. I thought he was poor tonight. Um, but yeah, I like Sarr. Whenever Sarr's in the team, you know, I don't ever think, oh God, Sarr's playing. You know, so yeah, for me he's all right. I don't mind him.
I just think
Don't
that
mind him at all.
combination in midfield, man, is we just ain't got it right yet. That three we're
No,
playing in midfield, the right combination amongst all those midfielders we have. Yeah, we just haven't got it right.
no,
Yeah,
no, I
there's
agree.
something's not working. Don't get me wrong. On the odd game, it could work and we win and we play well, but it just
Mm.
doesn't look set. Doesn't make sense there. I don't know what I can't put. I can put my finger on it. It's a lack of quality in kind of passing the ball, controlling the game, setting the tempo.
Yeah. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because Sarr is not a number 10 in any way, shape, or form, but I kind of like him up further up the pitch. A, because he's not scared to shoot, but B, because he does have a habit of giving the ball away. You know, Sarr's passing at times isn't always the best. And I think if he's up in the 10 position, he's giving the ball away. It's not so bad. If he's in around the midfield and giving the ball away just outside our box, putting us in trouble, then he concerns me. So I like Sarr, but I like him further up. But then we lack a bit of creativity. So that's the thing. I don't know what to do with him.
Certain teams he's okay against. It's
Mm.
the games when we have to play football, like tonight. We had to play football at our ground. Villarreal have come to our ground. We should be playing football and dominating the game, not just possession, chances. Yeah, this is what we need to see. So who's come to our ground? You know, Bournemouth came to our ground, outplayed us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Villarreal outplayed us parts of that game tonight.
Mm.
Yeah, who else came to our ground? Burnley, we beat them.
Yeah. I think it's a weird. I don't know whether we're caught in a bit of a catch-22 tonight. I don't know whether the players got caught up in the emotion of the game and maybe panicked a bit second half and thought, it was almost like let's not lose. And but then we didn't really attack first half either, did we? We didn't really have anything going forward first half. So it's a concern. Maybe we could play Kudus off the left and play Johnson on the right and play Xavi in the middle.
I
I
don't
don't
want
know.
to see Johnson really in the side, to be honest. We're
No.
struggling, aren't we? We're struggling. We're struggling.
Well, we haven't got it because Tell isn't fancied. Odebear clearly isn't fancied. No one fancies Johnson. Um, so yeah, we haven't got a lot to choose from, have we? Really?
I think it's just trying to get through to January, really, isn't it? Picking up
Mm.
results, wins, much as we can, getting
Yeah,
through games in this way, relying on set pieces, corners, and
long
getting enough.
throws.
Yeah. Hopefully something will click, right? Hopefully Frank will get it right. Give him some time.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. And look, we've won 4 out of 5 games. It's not all bad. Just the performances sometimes are a little bit disheartening, but at least we are winning. At least we are winning. I'm still excited. I'm still excited about Xavi Simons. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Like you say, he is wasted on the left, but I am enjoying.
Everybody's saying it, isn't it? Like Big Up has. Everyone's saying it. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Simmons in the 10, but the guy who makes a decision is not putting him left. I don't know what he thinks he can do on that left.
I think he just thinks he's better than what we got. But then maybe no, I don't know. I'm getting desperate here when I'm like thinking maybe we could play a doggy left.
No, no. That's
Well,
that.
that's crazy, I know.
Harry came
It's
back.
getting late,
Harry came back.
definitely.
Everyone.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Harry Kane. Yeah, Harry Kane would be a great signing. Harry Kane and somebody else. So we bought Kane back for like what 50 million, and then bought in a younger version. just yeah, that would be amazing. Can't see it happening though, mate. Can you?
Nah. Why? I just can't see he's going to win things. Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't like that joke.
What? Yeah, the Joker. When we played Brighton, we need to be rock solid. Need to send the idea about a top striker. Look how much Isak cost Newcastle. Is also finding the right player in the right position in the team. Yeah, very true. Very true. I mean, and we have got Moani, so he might come good. You know, he might come good as a striker. He struggled a bit, didn't he, tonight for the last 20 minutes, but I don't know what we were expecting from him. I was quite excited when he come on. How did you feel when he come on? Because I thought, oh, here we go. We're going to see what he's like. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Didn't do much, did he? Should we call it a night?
Yeah, let's call it a night. Guys in the chat, big up to everyone for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Please subscribe, smash the likes if you could. That would be great. Thank you so much. And look, just summarise the night. It was a dirty win. Yeah, horrible win. We take it, we move on, and we just have to hope these performances improve in the Champions League. They're going to have to. If we want to progress, they've got to be better than that. And we'll see what we're like in the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Dan, for this late stream. Appreciate it, mate.
No worries.
Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the chat. Appreciate all of you coming in, and big up to Sava for the raid.
Big up to Sava as well.
Smash a like and subscribe on your way out. And as always, guys, come on, you Spurs.